Thank you for joining me for 1.4 Properties of Real Numbers. Today we're going to learn the properties of real numbers, and a property is something that's true for all situations. These are the properties we're going to be looking at: the distributive, commutative, associative, identity properties of 1 and 0. So when we commute, we go back and forth from school to home. In algebra, terms can commute when they trade places, like we see here, x plus y, y plus x. My x is first here, it's second here. My y is second, and here it's first. This is a statement of the commutative property for addition. So here I have x plus y equals y plus x, and we could substitute numbers for these. 2 plus 6 equals 6 plus 2. So again, the numbers are here, or the terms are just trading places. And this is considered the commutative property for addition. And as you can see, 2 plus 6 is going to equal 8, and 6 plus 2 is going to equal 8. So it maintains that the one side of the equation equals the other. Although the numbers have moved, the statement still remains true. 8 equals 8. Here we have an example of how it works for multiplication. X times y equals y times x. And if we substituted numbers here, 2 times 4 is going to equal 4 times 2. So 8 equals 8. Again, the numbers commuted. So we have the commutative property of multiplication, but the answer still remains the same, a true statement. So again, we have the commutative property of addition and multiplication. Order doesn't matter in addition or multiplication. That is not the case when we are subtracting. It does matter if we say 4 minus 2 or 2 minus 4. We would get two totally different answers. 4 minus 2 would give us a positive 2, while 2 minus 4 would give us a negative 2. So there is no commutative property for subtraction or division, but there is for multiplication and addition. To associate means to join with. Here we have an image of a lion and a tiger associating with each other, and they're leaving the lion out. In algebra, this looks like this. We have parentheses, x plus y, close parentheses, plus z. Now in this image, we're switching the association. The lion, the panther, has decided to befriend the lion, and I have the tiger here being left out. So here in algebra, I have x plus, open parentheses, y plus z, close parentheses. So again, this is the statement of the associative property. I have here, open parentheses, x plus y, close parentheses, plus z, equals x plus, open parentheses, y plus z, close parentheses. So we could write something like 2 plus 3, close parentheses there, plus 4 equals 2 plus, open parentheses, 3 plus 4. And so what we're saying that the variables, they're not moving. You see, you can track them to, let me use the highlighter. I have 2 here on this spot, and I have 2 here. And then I have 3 on the second spot. Well, 3 is on the second spot here too. And 4 is on the third spot here. So here's 4 on the third spot. So the terms are exactly in the same spots. Again, I have 2 in the first. Now I have 3 being the second term. And I have 4 here being the third term. They are in the exact same spot. What's different here is that they're associating, or they're grouping differently. Here I have 2 and 3 grouped together, and here I have 3 and 4. So the variables or the numbers didn't change here. The terms stayed exactly in the same spot. They just are grouped differently. So here we have the associative property of multiplication and addition in algebraic form and in an example with numeric form. And we can test the example in numeric form here. We have 6 times 4, that's going to give us 24, times 3 is equivalent to 6 times 4 times 3, which is 12. So 24 times 3 is going to give us 72, and 6 times 12 is also 72. So even though the numbers are associating differently, we're getting the same result on both sides of the equation. And here is the associative property of addition algebraically. And here's an example for us using numbers. So let's go ahead and test that out. We're going to do the parentheses first. 6 plus 4 here is 10 plus 3. And here we have the 6 first, and we have the 4 and the 3 associating together, and that gives us 7. So 10 plus 3 is going to be 13, and 6 plus 7 is 13. So we can see how this property, even though the numbers are associated differently, both in multiplication and division, they're going to yield the same results. So here once again, for the associative for multiplication, variable form, and let's substitute numbers here. We can say 1 times 2 times 3 equals 1 parentheses 2 times 3. So here I have 1 times 2 is 2 times 3 equals 1. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 equals 6. Beautiful. So here we have an example of what the distributive property is. So here I'm taking this A and I'm distributing it to this term here B, and I'm taking this A and distributing it to this term here C. And my result is AB plus AC. So with numbers, this is what it looks like. 4 times 3 plus, and I like using parentheses, 4 times 5. So my result here would be 12 plus 20, which would be 32. And let's take a look at what that looks like if we work PEMDAS. 3 times 5 would be 8, right? Because we would do the parentheses first. And then we do 4 times 8, which is 32. This is why the distributive property works. This is an example of the distributive property, and I'm going to need to fill something in here. When it downloaded, it shifted things around. So 4 times 2x, this should read 8x, and 4 times 3 would be 12. And we're going to talk a little bit about using the box method. Not today, but I just wanted to put it out here as an illustration and an example. Let's go to the next slide. Here is the distributive property. Again, here we're using variables where we use numbers before. And this is x times y plus x times z, which yields this result. X, y plus x, z. So now for the identity property. If you're ever questioning which one is which, just say, if I'm adding, what can I add to myself to get myself again? So for x is going to add 0 to be x. Let's say x was 5. 5 plus 0 equals 5. This is why 0 is the identity property for addition. Because what can you add to 5 to make it remain 5? Well, you would add 0. So that's why 0 is the identity property for addition. In a similar way, the identity property for multiplication is you're going to multiply by 1. What can you multiply x to get x again? So you would multiply x by 1. and you're going to have x times 1 is going to equal x. In the same way, if we used a number and we had 5, if we wanted to know what's the identity property for multiplication, what could we multiply 5 by to get 5 again? Well, we would multiply 5 times 1 to get 5. So the identity property for multiplication is going to be 1. We're going to use 1 to multiply. So the identity property of addition is 0. Any number added to 0 is going to remain the same number. And the identity property of multiplication is multiplied by 1. Any number multiplied by 1 is going to remain the same number. Thank you so much for joining me today for properties of real numbers.